Good evening. Angry commuters fed up with months of cancellations and delays challenged rail bosses at a public meeting today. It was called by Hove and Portslade MP Peter Kyle, who wanted Govia Thameslink to hear firsthand the impact poor service is having. Sarah Saunders reports.
The meeting began with an apology from Southern Rail operator Govia Thameslink.
I know that the services that you've experienced in the last 2 to 3 months are simply not good enough.
But it was not enough to stop a groundswell of frustration and anger at recent poor service.
Just deteriorated to the point where it's become a lottery.
In case if you get to the station and you don't know if a train is actually going to run.
Improvements to the line combined with industrial action and staff sickness mean services have become desperately unreliable.
You know, this is impacting family life, it's impacting our communities, and it's impacting our economic prosperity as a city and a country. We've got to get a grip on this service.
We want to bring an end to the unplanned cancellations, because that, we understand, is the most disruptive element to our customers, and what we want to do is to give them back certainty. We are working on what a revised train plan could look like.
Could this be their solution? Govia Thameslink say a revised train plan will be announced next week, likely to be more restricted but hopefully more reliable. Perhaps it's set to coincide with the company's appearance before the Transport Select Committee to answer for itself once again. Sarah Saunders, ITV News, Hove.
4 people have been injured too seriously after a balcony collapsed in Brighton. Emergency services were called to a flat in Montpellier Road late last night. Part of the 19th century balcony had fallen away. Hundreds of demonstrators have taken to the streets of Southampton following the EU referendum result. Anti-racist campaigners gathered at the Bargate to oppose a planned far-right march through the city. The event has been described by police as mostly peaceful. A new record has been set for the fastest time to sail around the Isle of Wight. Sir Ben Ainsley's 2013 time of 2 hours and 52 minutes was smashed by 22 minutes in very windy conditions. Richard Slee reports.
The sun was shining, the wind was gusting. Perfect conditions for the 50-mile race round the island.
And we have 45 knots this morning off St Catherine's Point. It's dropped down to about 22, so it's looking good.
It's going to be fast and wet and windy.
We think challenging conditions probably around the back of the island this afternoon. It's very marginal as to whether we're going to fly the big sail or not.
16,000 sailors are taking part this year on as many as 1,600 yachts. The high winds meant that some class categories were cancelled for safety reasons, but for the big boats, conditions were ideal. Do you think there could be a new record today?
We can only hope. It's always fun when we break a record. I think that the big boats, the fast boats, the catamarans are going to certainly go out there looking to break that record.
But the strong winds did claim an early casualty. A mast broke on one of the leading catamarans. All the crew was safely picked up.
You might think that a lot of wind would be good for sailing at speed, but as we've seen, it can also cause a few problems. And that's why the lifeboats from Freshwater and Yarmouth are standing by.
By the time most yachts were passing the Needles, the race was already won by a trimaran in a new record time of 2 hours and 23 minutes. Richard Slee, ITV News on the Isle of Wight.
Southampton's Queen Elizabeth arrived in Liverpool this morning for a weekend of celebrations to mark the centenary of the world-famous Cunard building. It was where Cunard's most famous ships were developed. The company moved to Southampton in the 1960s. One of the world's best-loved children's authors has been honoured in Oxford. It's the annual Alice's Day, where thousands have been celebrating Alice in Wonderland, created by Lewis Carroll. Let's take a look at the weather now. Here's Philippa Drew.
From blizzards to pool, driving through Europe. Eurotunnel the Shuttle sponsors ITV Meridian weather.
Hello there. Well, a rather mixed end to the weekend. Today's showers fading to leave us with a largely dry night, but cloud and rain on the cards for a time tomorrow. Back to tonight, though, for many of us, a dry start to the night. Clear spells out towards the far east there, but as the night wears on, thickening cloud and the first signs of some patchy rain and drizzle will gradually move in from the southwest. That will scoot its way eastwards tomorrow morning, mainly down towards the south of our patch, with a chance of a little brightness further north. But I think for all of us, the afternoon looks quite a bit better. Any remnants of that cloud and rain edging away eastwards, becoming brighter, some good sunny spells and temperatures doing fairly well as a result. For the high tides tomorrow, Portland quite a bit earlier than elsewhere, around 6:30 in the morning and around 6:45 in the evening.
Eurotunnel the Shuttle sponsors ITV Meridian weather. Keeping a close eye on summer. The Pollen Count, sponsored by Ilogy Eye Drops.
So it's not great news for hay fever sufferers. Over the coming days, pollen levels look set to be fairly high, only lowering where we see any rain or showers. And in fact, they could rise to very high in any prolonged bright or sunny spells. Bye-bye.
We're back just before 6 o'clock tomorrow evening. In the meantime, from all of us here on the Weekend Team, do have a very good evening. Bye-bye.